Welcome to Traveling Kangaroo. Today we're hopping into a serious topic that's shaking the very foundation of American life: the rapid collapse of America's retail landscape. Just like a kangaroo bounding through changing terrain, the retail world is facing massive shifts, and many iconic stores are struggling to survive. So grab your pouch and let's jump right into why America's favorite stores are closing their doors faster than anyone expected. Over the past year alone, more than 3,200 stores have permanently shut down. That's a number equivalent to wiping out an entire industry like coal. From Walgreens to Walmart, Penney to Forever 21, no retailer is safe from this storm. But what's behind this sweeping change? And what does it mean for communities across the country? Let's start with Penney. Once the wardrobe of America's middle class, Penney was where families piled into cars on Saturdays for new school clothes, and dads picked out suits that defined generations. Today, the brand is fading fast. With foot traffic down nearly 40% compared to before the pandemic, and online sales never catching up to giants like Amazon, Penney finds itself trapped in a business model that simply can't keep pace with modern life. The middle class it once served has all but vanished, squeezed by inflation and stagnant wages. Closing these stores doesn't just hurt a brand, it sends shockwaves through entire malls and towns, leaving small businesses struggling and communities losing their retail heartbeat. Forever 21 tells a similar story but from the lens of youth culture. Remember when a $10 dress made you feel like $1,000,000? That's the magic Forever 21 once had. But with the rise of fast fashion online, TikTok thrift hauls, and, the savvy Gen Z shopper moving away from malls, Forever 21's formula has totally crumbled. They've closed hundreds of stores as mall leases and unsold inventory just stack up. This isn't just a retailer failing, it's a generation's shopping habits collapsing, signaling that cheap thrills alone won't guarantee survival anymore. Big Lots and Kohl's both once stood as safety nets for working families, offering affordable home goods and apparel. But inflation has turned loyal bargain hunters into survival shoppers, cutting back on non-essential buys. Big Lots faces bankruptcy, closing hundreds of stores, while Kohl's struggles with declining foot traffic and stock values, even though they're trying to innovate with Sephora corners and partnerships. The suburban weekend shopping trip, the coupons, the family outings, it's, becoming a relic of the past. Dollar General, a lifeline for rural America with 19,000 stores nationwide, has started closing dozens of its outlets. Rising operating costs and, honestly, skyrocketing theft are squeezing profits. When even dollar stores can't maintain their presence, it really raises a red flag about the economic health of some of America's poorest communities. Advance Auto Parts is also facing disruption from technology. Electric vehicles require far fewer traditional parts like belts and spark plugs. With over 700 store closures planned and competition from online sellers like Amazon growing, this is way more than just a retail challenge. It's a sign that entire industries built on fix-it-yourself culture are shifting right beneath our feet. Even convenience giant 7-Eleven is closing hundreds of stores as delivery apps and digital lifestyles eat away at its traditional customer base. Rising labor costs, energy bills, and crime have made staying open 24/7 more nightmare than convenience. The neon signs that once lit late-night streets are, flickering out across America. Best Buy, once the tech temple of America where you'd find everything from iPods to flat screens, is dimming its lights too. As consumers upgrade devices less frequently and purchase directly from brands or Amazon, Best Buy's foot traffic has plunged by 35%. Despite pivoting to tech support memberships and pickup hubs, shrinking margins paint a grim picture for the electronics giant. Macy's, a national tradition synonymous with holiday parades and flagship stores, is retreating fast, closing dozens of stores and cutting nearly half its locations in a decade. The decline of department stores like Macy's is more than just business. It's the unraveling of a cultural icon that once anchored malls and communities across America. Pharmacy giant Walgreens plans to close over 2,150 stores by 2027 amid multi-billion-dollar losses, fueled by shrinking prescription margins, rising theft and insurance costs. This isn't just a corporate crisis. It's creating pharmacy deserts where people must travel miles for basic healthcare needs. Amazon Fresh, a bold attempt by the e-commerce king to conquer groceries, has stumbled badly. Razor-thin margins combined with rising theft, energy costs, and customer dislike for cashierless stores have forced closures across multiple states. Even Amazon can't seem to digitize the simple act of feeding families affordably. And finally, Walmart, the backbone of American commerce, has begun closing stores in several states due to soaring theft losses reaching $3 billion annually, rising labor costs, and customers cutting back spending amid inflation. When Walmart retreats from certain communities, it sends shockwaves through local economies. Jobs vanish and suppliers lose contracts, turning bustling parking lots into ghost towns overnight. So what can we learn from this retail landslide? It's not just about failed business models or bad management. This is a broader economic story about inflation squeezing wages, crime ramping up losses, technology changing how we shop, and above all, the vanishing middle class that once powered American consumerism. For communities across the country, these closures mean more than lost jobs or empty storefronts. They threaten the very fabric of daily life. From pharmacies disappearing in urban neighborhoods to discount stores vanishing in rural towns, essential access is shrinking alongside our retail options. As travelers hopping through cities and small towns alike, it's important to understand these shifts because they affect more than just where we shop. They reshape where we live, work, and thrive. Thank you so much for joining Traveling Kangaroo today as we explored this critical story about the collapse of American retail. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss our deep dives into stories shaping our world. Follow us on social media for more updates and discussions. Links are in the description below. And be sure to visit travelingkangaroo.com for exclusive content and resources. Until next time, keep hopping forward with Traveling Kangaroo, your guide to exploring not just places but the stories that matter. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring.